Hey everybody, what's up? My name's Ken, and I'm the creator of Vanguard C4. C4, not in the common sense, not in the military perfect sense, but command, control, communications, and instead of computing, coordination. And the reason why I picked Vanguard for the name for my software is because planning is the forefront and should be the forefront of every mission. So Vanguard being the absolute forefront of a mission force or of a battlefront or whatever, or a spearhead. That's the way I feel about it, that planning should take absolute forefront in every military operation. So what I did is I came up with 4 pieces of software that will help you coordinate your individual planning as well as your squadron planning. So let me take you through some of the software. Okay, so first we have SkyPilot, and it's going to be free, but I could really use some coffee. So SkyPilot and Norden 2 are free. SkyPilot is the aircraft inventory command and control center where it's got a live-in air picture, pretty cool thing, but it also has 3D GLB viewer, which you can view all the aircraft. Well, 150 of them right now, but it's going to grow about 50 every month at least. And you'll be able to view all the aircraft in 3D. It's really cool. And then I've got my own scoring system that I use for each aircraft, and there's 3 different scorings that I use throughout CPR, and you'll learn more about that as we go through the software. But all the software is represented, and you inventory. You have all your inventory, and everything's done similar to what's done in War Thunder. Then Norden 2, your tactical strike planning suite for planning all of your your air-to-ground missions. So I also have a anti-radiation missile threat analysis, so you can see, hey, this I'm going up against this threat. I have this type of missile. I have this type of aircraft. What's the best way to approach it, and how far do I need to be away where I can strike the target and he can't hit me? And that's really it's really cool. But you'll learn more about that in the upcoming video, so please stick around. And then GI Scout and Keyforge are both to work together for GI Scout is the government issued squadron common operational unification tool. How about that for a word or an acronym? But it does your full spectrum squadron management planning from the beginning to handing out the awards at the end. It does everything, and plus it's got some secret stuff inside there that's really cool. Uh, you'll really enjoy that piece. But those are the 4 pieces of software. KeyForge is your synchronization tool with the Microsoft Blob servers. Yes, I said blob. That's what it's called. Anyhow, it's a a word for like storage where we store our data, and you can communicate within your squad, not without. You can't communicate with other squadrons, but you can communicate with your squadron, everybody. So it's really cool, and that comes at a small cost, 50 cents a user. And then here's your 4 pieces of software and how they work together. SkyPilot, of course, your inventory, and that feeds GI Scout so that your squadron commander can look and say, man, we got 5 F-16s. It'll be on Monday night. That's I can plan a mission that night, or I got 3 A-10s and 2 F-16s, and I can do this night and that this night. And you'll see how that all fits in, but that's how that SkyPilot works together with GI Scout. And then Norden 2 works together because it helps the mission commander. There's missions inside of GI Scout, individual missions that you run, and it has a mission board so everybody can sign up for it if they want to, and they have a time available to put in, and then they give their loadouts to the loadout commander so that he knows, hey, I got heavy heavy anti-radiation threat, so I need this many missiles at least, so he can plan that out better by seeing everybody's loadouts. And of course, KeyForge, I already talked about. KeyForge is your communications tool that talks to the Microsoft servers. And then, so here's a little bit more about GI Scout. It's got a command and control tool, the Squadron Operations Network Analysis and Readiness. I love acronyms, that's why you'll see a lot of them. But anyhow, sonar is where the hub is, and it shows you the whole C2 platform of from the sync, the commander in chief, all the way down to the lowest pilot, and how each one of them fits together within your command and control within your squadron. And then it also has mission and planning tools. You plan, you brief. You got intel briefs that you do. You got readiness briefs. You've got, well, I'll just go ahead and tell you now. You got a sand table, and I call it a sand table, but it's actually an air planning tool, and it's really cool. You'll see how that works when you stick around for GI Scout briefing. Then you got personnel management, takes care of all your personnel, tracks them for promotions, for how ready they are for the battlefield. Can they take off on a carrier? Can they land on an airfield successfully? How good are they at it? How many award can you can give awards out at the end of every mission, or just for them just having a doing a great job that week? Then you got the battle rhythm and calendar. You got battle rhythm, so it'll show you like every week, hey, at Friday night fights, we're gonna have Friday night, 8 o'clock at night. We're gonna go and do some missions. So they put it on the calendar, and everybody knows that Friday night that's what's happening. And then Tuesdays you may have training, and Wednesdays you may have some other events that you do within the squadron. But that's all how you coordinate that. And then you have a monthly calendar that you can view and set up stuff that's going on within your calendar, or coordinate that with the agent's calendar, stuff that's coming up. And then you've got lessons learned and intel briefs that go along with everything. And that's how you command your squadron. And then you've got, this is how all the tools fit together, how they fit together, and how inside the GI Scout, how everything fits. How the sand table fits into the mission, the loadouts, the intel briefs, the rewards, the after action reports, squadron, readiness, aircraft. It all fits together. It's really cool. I really wanted to do this my entire career in the military and afterwards as a DoD contractor. For 37 years, I've seen software come and go. I've seen some good stuff, seen some bad stuff. But I was always told, hey, you can't do that because we ain't got enough time. We don't have enough money. We can't do that because it'll step on somebody's toes. Well, screw it. I did it. And I made my software the way I wanted it to, and I know it'll fit the mission that you guys have. And if it doesn't, then you tell me what you need, and I'll put it in the next release if I can. And then here's Norden 2. You got your loadout manager. You put all your ordnance in. Ballistics computer. You can show your missiles. Well, hey, this one only goes 10 kilometers. I better back off that a little bit. I'll use a different missile this time so I can hit the target and still have a good standoff distance. It takes the drag of the missile into account, so you don't have to worry about all that. And I know you inside you got your tools. You have CCRP and CCIP, and you just put the green circle on the target, and that's good enough for 90% of the people. But if you want to have a little bit more better analysis before you go on a mission and be successful, you can use this tool to do it. And you got your strike planning computer, your mission analysis and charting tool that shows you like how it looks, so you can see exactly how that you're going to look, and that's how you can control your squadron and then coordinate your squadron. And this is what Sky Pilot's all about, is the coordination of all the air assets that you have within your squadron. How many this type of aircraft do you have? How many pilots or how many pilots are ready for that type of aircraft? Are they rank 4? How many people do we have in the Italian Air Force and the Chinese? How many Chinese aircraft do we have to fly certain missions? And how many rank 9 aircraft do we have, at 8, and how ready are they, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I can go on, but that you get the point. So that's what SkyPilot does. And then here's our composite performance rating. I talked about this a little bit, your CPR rating. And this is, I took into account speed, climb, firepower, acceleration, turn, and ordnance, and fit that all in and ranked each aircraft, the bombers up against the bombers from all within that era or time period or rank. So all of the rank 1 bombers are all ranked up against the bombers from rank 1, and then it gives you a score and says this one's a 90, this one's a 10, and you'll see how that all works out when you get the tool. And then KeyForge is your communications platform. It's a secure platform. Nothing gets transmitted from your PC, no email addresses, nothing. You get on there, you give it a call sign, and you're rocking and rolling. And all that's done back and forth between the Microsoft secure servers. So it's a really cool platform. And it's a push-pull technology, which I'll talk about when you get to the KeyForge video, but it's not like email that just pops up. You have to do something. You have to do a click about, spend about 1/100th of a calorie on a click, and you get your mail. And then, like I said, it's built on 37 years of operational experience, from private all the way up to sergeant first class. I worked in operations all the way from uh, company level all the way up to joint and command operation levels. I worked all over the world. I worked with a lot of different forces around the world and a lot of different people within there. They're great leaders that I worked with. But there's my contact information at the bottom, and then I'd like to hear more from you, and I hope you stick around for the rest of the videos and use the software because it's really cool. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.